Bola Tinubu has been sworn in as the president of the country. President Tinubu was sworn in on Monday in the presence of thousands of people, including heads of states and world leaders, while promising to reduce insecurity, create more jobs, give opportunities to women and youth on leadership roles. He says his administration will reform Nigeria into a place everyone would want to live. Joining us via Zoom from the U.S. is a U.S.-based medical doctor and convener Social Rehabilitation, Grace and Support Initiative, Dr. Marin Doti Uludari. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me this morning. It's a good day to call President Bola Tinubu the president of my country.
Right. Now, it took him over 3 decades to crystallize this lifelong ambition. And we saw that happen yesterday at the inauguration. Talk to us about the journey leading up to this, because he also acknowledged how that the election was a hard-fought victory for him, and that doesn't make him more a Nigerian and his opponents less patriotic, so to speak.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll start by quoting the second president of the United States, James Madison, who said that those that knowledge will always rule over ignorance, and those who wish to govern should lend themselves to the powers that knowledge provides. Asiwaju, I think his presidency is going to be, in my own opinion, which is skewed, the first time where we would have an intellectual as the president of this country. And it has been a very, long and arduous journey because of the, the dynamic, the demographic divide and everything. A lot of people can, query a lot of his, what he has to do, his journey, the sacrifices he has made. I think that's essentially the most important part of it. He has made a lot of sacrifices. He has supported people. He has taken a lot of bruises for this country. And today yesterday was more like a wedding day, where the groom got to take his bride home and he's going to take care of him very well. And, there was one thing that the president also mentioned that I think is very essential when he was referencing the hard-fought election. And I know how hard it was because, I was also subject to a lot of abuse on social media just for supporting the president. And what he mentioned was that the election reflected the will of the people. And when he said that, what I can hear was that he said he knows that 63.4% of Nigerians did not vote for him, but he won fair and square with 36.6% of the vote. And that means he knows that he has a lot of work to do to bring a lot of people back, into his fold and to see the dreams and the vision that he has for the country. And then they can start, supporting him. And I believe he has started on the right track. Fuel subsidy has been, like an albatross on our economy. It's a scam. Everybody knows it's a scam. So, when you have a damn nuisance, you should just let it go. There's no need to dilly-dally about it. And while the president did not say that I removed fuel subsidy, he said he looked at the budget that was handed over to him, and there was unfortunately no subsidy in that budget. So he does not have the power to, include backing things. So he said fuel subsidy is gone. And I think it is the right move. It is short-term pain, maybe a little bit sustained, because the ways that the fuel subsidy is going to be reinvested cannot be something that will be acute. When you invest in education, it takes time. People have to go to those schools and then get out to, get the benefit. If you want to invest it in infrastructure, it takes time for cement to harden, to, for people to start benefiting it. However, there are definitely probably some intermediate ways by which, I think this can be cushioned, like one that I can just think about is I think maybe the exchange rate. If we are not, if we are now earning money from the crude that we're making, that dollar is something that will be a part of our foreign reserve. And then, that can cushion the exchange rate because, the price of petrol is determined globally in dollars. So if the exchange rate, the power of the naira is stronger, then maybe that will naturally bring down, the price. And also, another thing that has also caused a lot of pain in Nigerians is the multiple exchange rates, the way whereby, like you mentioned, a lot of foreign investors cannot repatriate their profits, which is the reason why a lot of people are not bringing their money into the country, which is the reason why, our stock exchange, our stock market, which was about 60% held in dollars in 2014, is about 15% held in dollars right now. If we can, re-entice those investors back into our economy, the basic tenets of, the free market economy is free entry and free exit. And if we are going to run a capitalist economy, people must be able to bring in their money and take it out as whenever they wish. When they have that confidence and they bring the dollars back into the economy and the value of our naira appreciates, that would definitely, I believe, go a long way in cushioning the effects. And also, the president also mentioned something that goes to the, panic buying that y'all were just talking about on the program, where he said that we should show compassion to one another. I often sometimes ask my friends that, after having a bad day, just go back home and think about what percentage of the things that made your day bad was caused by the Nigerian government. You will see maybe it's less than 10%. It's most often another Nigerian making you to have a bad day. And which is also essentially what we do to ourselves when we are panic buying. Reminds me of, like the situation in the United States during COVID, where people were fighting each other, literally getting in a fisticuff over toilet paper. Something that you are not anticipating that you're going to have diarrhea, but you're fighting over toilet paper. It's the same thing with, gas. And also, there's also the issue of hoarding, which is definitely going to be bound to happen. A lot of, unscrupulous fuel marketers, petrol station owners, we want to hoard so that when the price goes up, which they're anticipating will occur, they can then sell the fuel that they bought cheap for a higher prices. So that can also be, attacked. You just let them challenge you. You just let them know when you get caught, you are going to pay a hefty fine, shut down your fuel station until you can pay it and all of that, and have enforcers on the state basis level. And this is going to probably be the responsibility of the states and the local governments. So those are some things that can actually be used to cushion the effect of the first subsidy removal. Maybe also find a way to give, maybe through the NURTW or whatever, transport workers some, maybe coupons on fuel or something that will enable them not to raise the prices of transportation. But there's no denying the fact that there will be pain. But what I would advise Nigerians think about is availability and affordability. Right now, the petrol is not available. It is not affordable. Once Dangote refinery products comes online, we have more modular refineries and all of that. Then this product becomes more available. We earn a lot more dollar. We have a better quality of life. We cannot allow the marketers and the businesses to blackmail the government, which is essentially what they do every time they know that the government is trying to remove subsidy. They just try to make life hard for all Nigerians. So definitely, if we can ensure that the petrol is always available, because when there's scarcity, people buy it at stupendous, humongous price anyways. So once the product is available for people to buy, I don't think people will complain so much about the price. They will carry on, and then all the other palliatives. And by the time all the policy that the tidbits that I mentioned during the inaugural speech starts to unfurl, then Nigerians will see the dividends of it when they have their infrastructure, the good health care, the education eventually which their children are going to benefit from, that will potentiate them to be able to integrate into the economy of the future, which is, very, very young, very tech, very savvy economy. Those are things that we really need, resources for. And also, the debt of the country also, if we can, start increasing our income, and then we can service our debt, get more loans and all of that. So those are like some things that I feel like the president did touch on yesterday. And also the issue of the exchange rate, the Naira redesign policy, which was so anti-human, anti-people, just so careless. All of these things are things that the president touched on. And, I believe that Nigerians should, just hold their nose, grit their teeth, endure a bit of pain. It might be hard, but it is to the global benefit of all of us. and we are all going to be happy for it. Not money for the few. Let the money be available for everybody.
Let me come in now, Dr. Maridoti, about the issue of fuel subsidy. You've spoken at length about it. I actually wanted you to to elaborate further on your thoughts regarding this controversial subject, which the president has said he will not shy away from. But there is some speculation. People are making speculations about when it will take off, also kind of laying credence to what we are seeing on the streets about the panic buying situation. What is your understanding about, what we are seeing now in Nigeria? Has the fuel subsidy taken off? Of course, the former president, said that it will take off, the removal, that is, will take off as from June, but no one is even, people are just like, it has taken off. What's your understanding about it? And if you say that it hasn't taken off, when do you think will be the best time for the fuel subsidy removal to take off formally under the Tinubu administration?
You see, my own personal opinion, we say the former president, President Buhari, said it will take off in June. June is actually, the day after tomorrow. So, yes, it is. That's what the new president is saying, that the budget that he inherited, the National Assembly did not make provisions for fuel subsidy for the second half of 2023. And when people say delay till when? It will never be a good time to take a bitter pill. It will never be. So we have to just make the hard decision and just take it off, like the Yoruba people will say. If you are preparing to get mad for 20 years, when will you get on the streets? Let's just get it out of the way. It is a damn nuisance. It is like a boil in our groin that is causing a lot of pain. We need to let it out. We need to, Nigerians need also to understand it. And I feel like one of the things that the administration needs to also do is probably also get out there and be in the faces of people and encourage the governors also to be proactive, to be on the streets. The people should not feel like, there is no responsive government, responding to this situation. If there is fuel in a particular place, then the fuel should be sold. If fuel is being sold and it's just expensive, at least the people know that they can walk in and maybe instead of 10 liters buy 3 or 4 and manage it, pending the time that the things will get better. And what are the other things that the country also spends Nigerians also spend a lot of money on in terms of getting fuel is generators. So if the plan that Asiwaju has had for over 20 years starts to materialize, and people start to invest in the electricity infrastructure, and Nigerian businesses and Nigerians stop buying gas for generators, it will also go a long way to help them save money in their pockets. I could remember when I was working in an hospital on the island, and my MD was telling me that I spent over 1 million naira a week on just diesel, and then at the end of the month, NEPA will still bring me huge speculative bills. When all those things get out, it will be a give and take, kind of scenario. But definitely, the government needs to be out. Thank God, one of the first position that the president, did appoint is the spokesperson. The spokesperson and the team should be out there, enlightening Nigerians, trying to calm everybody. The product is available. Dangote is coming online. There's no need for you to panic buy. You don't want to cause fire incidents in your houses. Those are the things, those are the problems of panic buying. So if we can just get out there, get in the faces of people, try to reassure them, it is a long, journey, but we can reassure them, like we say in the hospital, anesthesia. It sometimes works. Just tell people, let them know that you are responsive, let them know that you feel their pain, and then, you might soothe it through the hard times. And when the benefits start to come, they will be the ones to reap the rewards of this very important but hard decision.
Now, the president spoke about Nigeria's unity, and he said he's devoted to one unified national cause, and that as the world exists, Nigeria shall exist. And he also talked about that We shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding views contrary to our own. How critical was it for him to make this statement? Recall how it is that leading up to the elections, there were divergent views talking about politics of identity. There was ethnic profiling. There was all of it. There was so much tension, and a lot of persons began to talk about how we have never been this divided as a nation. How critical was this aspect of his statement to the country?
It's very, very essential. And, Ashwaju has been someone that, not like I know him, but I read a lot about him. And even when he was the governor of Lagos, he has always favored diversity. He had every, almost any ethnic group that lives in Lagos featured in his administration. And, we had some of the opponents that tried to, play the religious ethnic sentiments, and those were the ones that heated up the polity. Ashwaju had always been, an open arm for everybody. There's nobody that has ever met him and ever complained of a shred, an iota of, prejudice. And instead, it's prejudice towards no one and compassion to all. So it is very essential. But this is one of the things that I always tell my friends, that the most unifying thing in the world is prosperity. When the people are happy, when the people have money, when the people feel like they are responsible for their own destiny, there will be unity. And that is one thing that, one of his very long-held beliefs, I think, will also bring to Nigeria. Nigeria in 2023 is different from Nigeria in 1960. We have spent more time together as Nigerians than we spent before our independence. So we are waist deep, we are intertwined together, we are a woven fabric of humanity. There's no difference between, Igbo, Yoruba, outside. When we meet ourselves in the United States, we are all Nigerians, So it is very essential for the president to do that. But the most important thing is, once the economy starts to get better, once there is that restructuring, which is one of his that I was talking about, which is one of his earlier ideas, where the states feel more responsible for their own destiny, then we become more united. Then we will feel like, we are partakers in our own affairs. And that is something that is really, really, as opposed to divide us, is going to unite us. When you go to Kano, you follow the laws and the rules and the ways of the people of Kano. When you come to Ondo State, where I'm from, you follow the laws and the ways and the people of Ondo State. It is going to really unite us, cause and may bring a lot of peace, douse all the agitations, because all these agitators, Yoruba Nation, IPOP, whatever, all they are requesting is ability for self-determination. So when this power in the central that is with him right now, that he has always wanted to decentralize, gets decentralized and devolved into federating states, it will even also, apart from unite the country, improve our economy, because now the state governors, all these concurrent exclusive lists and all things, they do away with them. Now the state governors can go out there and be more active and, try to exploit the resources that God has given beneath their feet, and use that to bring prosperity to the people of their citizens. It is hard for you to see a rich man fighting. It is hard for you to see a rich man, trying to, because he has a lot to lose. So once we make the economy better and our people are happier, then we are going to be united. But it was one of the things that I believe that the president has said, and he's not just going to say it. Going from his antecedent, I believe he's going to live it. It's not just a word of mouth.
Right.
It is a way of life for him. Yes.
Let's quickly talk about the issue of security, which the president, of course, hasn't shied away from. He's been very vocal on this subject in his campaign document, and even now he also made mention about revamping the doctrine and architecture of security across the nation. Of course, it's a thorny issue. Every state or every region seems to have its own semblance of insecurity. But what's your expectation in this regard, having listened to the president?
Yeah, my expectation is that the president is going to do what he said, which is restructure the architecture and the whole makeup of our security agencies. I've always said, it's security is local. You are the person that knows where you keep the key in your house. You are the person that knows where people might be able to break in. So once you devolve the security responsibilities to each of the states, and then they have more responsibilities, more power, they can improve their numbers, while the federal government also does what it needs to do to improve the number of our military men and their training, which is very, very important. Their training is very important because when military men get trained properly, they don't behave like, they don't act barbaric the way that some of them have acted, which is one of the reasons why countries like the United States, based on their Lays Act or something, have failed to equip or support the Nigerian, effort against the terrorists and all. Also, we can also look beyond even the United States. I mean, in the war in Ukraine, they got a lot of potent weapons from Turkey. These are part of one of the things that the president just got reelected, and I saw that the current president of Nigeria congratulated Tayyip Erdogan. Those are places that we can also go to get, international support to help with equipping our military men and giving the recruits and all of them the adequate training so that they know how to conduct their exercises and all. But very most important part of it is that restructuring, whereby the people of a state, the people of a community are the ones responsible for their own security. So if there's a kidnapping in your neighborhood, that is your neck of the wood. You know every nook and cranny there. You have mobilized, you have employed and trained, your state policemen. I don't believe in this whole Amotekun thing. That's just a vigilante group. That is not what we are talking about. A properly educated, trained policeman. It takes about just a year or 6 months, I think, to adequately train a policeman to know what to do when faced with a situation, and also sharing of intelligence among states and all of that, so that they can easily, because Nigeria is not so big. Really, you kidnap someone and then they just roam around this small place and nobody gets to intercept them. It's because we are short-staffed. We need to improve the numbers, the training, and the equipment for the police. And these are all of the things that also this subsidy that is being removed will enable the president to be able to fund, because it takes money to buy guns, it takes money to train, even more money to train than just to buy guns. And you don't just want to buy guns and put it in hand of a bunch of people who don't know what to do with it. So you want to give them proper training. But that restructuring, and the president, what he has done in just this 24 hours of his administration, is on the right path. He has hit the ground running like he said he would, and he should please pick up, be Usain Bolt with it, because Nigerians can't wait, and Nigerians a lot of responsibility, a lot of faith is in him, especially from some of us that supported him. We want him to perform. All right. So that we can say, yeah, we were right.
One quick aspect that I would like for you to touch on, because we have limited time, is the aspect of he talking about unifying the exchange rate. And there are those who have said that that's quite ambitious. I wonder how you view this.
I mean, maybe because I'm not an economist, I don't know what is ambitious about it. Exchange rate should be determined by the forces of demand and supply. So by the time the federal government stops fixing artificial, values for our currency and let the forces of demand and supply, determine what the price is, that is essentially what will make Nigeria work. It does not make any sense where we're having embargoes. The CBN decides at the feet of peak or whatever to just ban selling of dollar to see whatever BDC or what, all of that. The president has said it. We need to unify the exchange rate. It causes a lot less confusion for for the investors. Someone like me during the election, I was trying to buy an ad on Facebook. I could not use the naira in my naira account. I have to use dollar to pay for adverts in naira. It does not make any sense, because you don't even give the business community, the small and medium scale business, that lady that wants to import Brazilian air from China, you don't give them access to dollar. So once you unify it, everybody has access to dollar. It will boost the economy. It is integral. And like I said, the president is on point.
All right, we need to wrap up the conversation. Dr. Mariam Oludare, a US-based medical doctor and convener Social Rehabilitation, Grace and Support Initiative. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you.